Overwhelming, stressful, life-changing. Debt can feel like an endless tunnel, but what if I told you it's possible to find the light and reclaim your financial freedom? Have you ever wondered how someone could eliminate $50,000 in debt in just 1 year? In today's video, I'm sharing how I paid off $50,000 in debt in 1 year, breaking down the exact strategies I used to tackle my financial challenges head-on. So stick around until the end. You'll be amazed at how achievable financial freedom can be. The breaking point, a financial wake-up call. What does it take to realize you've hit rock bottom? For me, it wasn't one single event. It was the culmination of many. Credit card balances were maxed out, student loans loomed overhead, and unexpected medical bills became the final straw. The day I opened a letter notifying me of yet another late payment fee was the day I knew something had to change. That moment was a turning point. I couldn't keep living paycheck to paycheck. I couldn't keep pretending everything would magically get better. I had to take control. The first step, acknowledging the problem and committing to finding a solution. Facing the numbers, the harsh reality. Have you ever avoided checking your bank balance because you knew it would be bad? That was me. For months, I lived in denial, avoiding the full picture of my debt. But to fix the problem, I had to face it head-on. I gathered all my bills, statements, and debts and listed every single one. Credit cards, student loans, car payments, and medical bills. The total was staggering, $50,000. Seeing that number in black and white felt like a punch to the gut. But as painful as it was, it also gave me clarity. I knew exactly what I was up against, and for the first time, I felt a sense of control. This step was crucial because you can't solve a problem if you don't know the full extent of it. Creating a game plan, the debt avalanche method. What's the smartest way to tackle debt? After researching different strategies, I decided to use the debt avalanche method. This approach focuses on paying off debts with the highest interest rates first, saving you money in the long run. It wasn't the easiest path, it required discipline and sacrifice. But it made the most sense financially. Every spare dollar I had went toward the debt with the highest interest. Meanwhile, I continued making minimum payments on my other debts to avoid penalties. This strategy gave me a clear roadmap, and every small victory fueled my motivation to keep going, budgeting like my life depended on it. Have you ever tracked every single dollar you spent in a month? I hadn't, until I realized it was the only way to regain control of my finances. I created a zero-based budget where every dollar had a purpose. At first, it was shocking to see where my money was going. Coffee runs, dining out, subscription services, they all added up faster than I realized. By cutting unnecessary expenses, I freed up hundreds of dollars each month to put toward my debt. My budget became my lifeline. It wasn't just about numbers. It was about aligning my spending with my values and goals. Slashing expenses, living lean. Could you live on less if it meant escaping debt faster? I had to get ruthless with my spending. Every dollar spent on non-essentials felt like a step backward. I canceled subscriptions, stopped eating out, and found creative ways to save on everyday expenses. Meal prepping replaced takeout. DIY solutions replaced professional services. Shopping secondhand became my new norm. These sacrifices weren't easy, but they were necessary. Every dollar I saved brought me closer to freedom. Finding extra income, the side hustle. What would you do if your regular paycheck wasn't enough to cover your goals? I realized that trimming expenses alone wouldn't cut it. I needed to grow my income. That's when I decided to dive into side hustles. From freelance writing gigs to selling handmade crafts online and even driving for a rideshare company on weekends, I used every spare hour to earn more. It wasn't glamorous or fun. There were nights I came home exhausted, questioning if it was worth it. But every extra dollar earned brought me closer to freedom. Over time, these hustles became the backbone of my debt repayment strategy, proving that determination can transform spare time into meaningful progress. Imagine this. What if those weekend hours you spend relaxing could pave the way to financial freedom? Building momentum, celebrating small wins. How do you stay motivated when the finish line seems miles away? When I started tackling my $50,000 debt, it felt insurmountable. But I discovered a secret. Breaking it into smaller milestones made it feel achievable. Each time I paid off even a small chunk of debt, I celebrated. I created a visual tracker, shading in sections as I made progress. Seeing that total shrink was incredibly motivating. Every shaded block wasn't just a number. It was proof that my sacrifices were paying off. Some days, the progress felt slow, but celebrating each win, no matter how small, gave me energy to keep pushing forward. These little victories reminded me that the finish line wasn't a dream, it was within reach. What small steps can you take today to start building your momentum? Learning to say no. How often do we sabotage our goals by saying yes to things we don't need? One of the hardest lessons I learned was how to say no to myself and to others. No to expensive dinners, no to unnecessary purchases, and no to the pressure to keep up with others' lifestyles. Saying no wasn't just about saving money, it was about reclaiming my priorities. Every no was a yes to my future freedom. Dealing with setbacks, staying resilient. What do you do when life doesn't go as planned? Despite my best efforts, life throws curveballs my way. Unexpected car repairs, medical bills, and other emergencies tested my resolve. Instead of letting these setbacks derail me, I adapted. I tightened my budget even further, took on more side gigs, and stayed focused on my goal. These challenges reminded me that setbacks are a part of the process. They don't define your journey unless you let them. Reaching the finish line, the final payment. What does freedom feel like? After 12 months of relentless effort, I made my final debt payment. Seeing that zero balance was surreal. I felt a weight lifted off my shoulders, a newfound sense of freedom, and an overwhelming pride in what I had accomplished. It wasn't just about the money. It was about proving to myself that I was capable of achieving something I once thought was impossible. Lessons learned. What would I do differently? Looking back, there are things I wish I had known earlier. For instance, the importance of building an emergency fund before aggressively paying off debt. Without a financial cushion, I had to scramble whenever an unexpected expense came up. I also learned the value of financial education. If I'd started learning about budgeting and debt repayment earlier, I might have avoided some of the mistakes that led to my $50,000 debt in the first place. Most importantly, I learned that discipline and determination can overcome almost any obstacle. Life after debt, building a brighter future. What's next after paying off debt? Now that I'm debt-free, my focus has shifted to building wealth. I'm contributing to retirement accounts, saving for future goals, and continuing to live below my means. The habits I developed during my debt payoff journey have become a permanent part of my life. They're not just tools for getting out of debt, they're tools for building a stable, successful future. Could you do it too? Paying off $50,000 in debt in 1 year wasn't easy, but it was possible. If I could do it, so can you. It starts with a single decision to take control of your finances and commit to the process. Your journey might look different from mine, but the principles remain the same. Confront your debt, make a plan, and stay consistent. So what's the first step you'll take to tackle your debt? Whether it's creating a budget, negotiating interest rates, or picking up a side hustle, every move brings you closer to financial freedom. Share your debt payoff goals or success stories in the comments below. Let's inspire each other. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights and real-world advice on building a brighter financial future. Thanks for watching. Stay determined, stay focused, and let's crush those money obstacles together.